Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing 9 cages. And you can see what seems like a very mystical scene there. Somehow Sleuth is floating in space, there are 9 cages with 9 different elements inside them, all of which will make sense when we take a look at today's puzzle and rule set. Now, just before I bring it up, I think I'm going to kind of point out that recently I've been really immensely enjoying puzzles where they're not just variant Sudoku, but there's twists on the normal variants for us to enjoy. And I think it kind of makes sense when you've recorded over 700 videos at this point on this channel, that just a little bit of variety is highly enjoyable. I'll be honest as well, I'm actually immensely enjoying the 2-star difficulty rated puzzles, the ones on weekends, and occasionally when I sneak one during the weekday, just because it just stretches the mind a little bit. So don't be surprised if in the future I do run a poll just to see, is the difficulty on this channel still right? Am I paying attention to the right puzzles? Any feedback as always would be welcome, so I don't just go off piste on something that people will not enjoy. Anyway, long introduction aside, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with 9 cages by Belamis. I think I'm going to say not only is it Belamis's debut on the channel, I don't think I've actually played any puzzle from Belamis before. And the following set of rules. 2 of them are fairly standard, the last one is the one to pay attention to. Normal Sudoku rules apply, means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, that's better. And then of course every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual. Hang on, I can actually select one, there you go. Every 3x3 box. Then we have killer cages. So digits do not repeat in cages and sum to the digit in the top left corner. So these 2 cells have to add up to 14, add up to 9, add up to 12, etc, etc, etc. Right, the last one is the interesting one. Digits may not repeat in any 3x3 area centered on a 9. And then in brackets there's something about or smaller than 3x3 if on an edge/corner. We'll come back to that in a second. So, I'll explain what I'm thinking is happening here. If I put a 9 in there, essentially the surrounding 3 cells cannot have any repeats. So I end up with the digits 1 to 9, once each, in yet another region basically that's layered on top of all of the other squares, layered on top of all of the columns, layered on top of all of the rows. So this is going to be fascinating, in my opinion. And I can tell you from the comments about this puzzle, how much people have loved this, and the 97% rating, we are clearly in for a bit of a treat. Now, the language on or smaller than 3x3 for an edge/corner, I'll be honest, I'm kind of struggling with that one. The way I'm sort of thinking about it is something like if this is a 9, then all of these cells can't have any repeats either. So this cell, for example, can't be the same as this cell, or this cell cannot be the same as either of these 2. Useful, but not very useful. And then corners is just like a waste of time, because obviously there's always going to be in the same box. But edges might not be. Anyway, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, my plan of attack, and this is not going to be a surprise for anyone, is to try and very quickly discern where the 9s are. So, 8, 9 in here, this can't be up, 2 cell cage that adds up to 17, adds up to 16, these are entirely 4, so there's no other way of completing this. With 8, 9 pair in here, that's going to be a 7, that's going to be a 9. And now we can start to draw in some of our extra regions. This is purple. Obviously the 9 is part of the purple, I just think for clarity I'm going to not color in the middle digit. Regardless, that means that can't be 9 either. So that's going to be 8, that's going to be 9. And then we have another region, let's call it blue, that's got to be unique. Where am I going with this? The other cages are hugely useful. 3 ways to do 12, 3 ways to do 13, 4 ways for 9, 2 ways for 14, 4 ways for 9, 4 ways, 3 ways, 1, 8, 2, 7, 3. Yeah, 4 ways and 4 ways for 11. So I think we're clearly going to have to stick to this for a bit. until we work our way around and potentially eliminate some of the options in these cages. So what this is telling me is 9, 8, and 7 are not inside the 13. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. And therefore, it has to have a 6. Because if it doesn't have a 6, 3, 4, 5 would be the biggest, which is only 12. So that would have to have a 6 for sure. And then I have 2 more cells, either, well, it can't be 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4 to add up to the remaining 7. I'm not going to pencil mark all of this. But then, of course, whatever's in blue, these 3 cells, they're clearly none of these cells. They're going to be down here. So essentially, there's a 6 down there, again with 2, 5, or 3, 4. And then the 1 has to live in one of these cells. Okay. And then the 7, 8 in purple can't be in any of the purple cells. Has to be in these 3 cells. And obviously, can't put them both outside the 9 cage. So one of them has to be inside the 9 cage. So this is going to be 7, 8. And then this is going to be either 8, 1 or 2, 7. And then because I need a 6 inside box 8, that can't be a 6. Because 6 is none of these cells. Essentially, these 3 cells are these 3 cells. So that has to be 1, 2. And it can't be 1 because these 3 cells are the same as these, and I can't have another 1 in here. I would need a second 6. So that has to be 2. Therefore, the option of 1 and 2 in here with the 7, 8, it's got to be 2 with 7 and 8. And that does eliminate 2 options of the 3 for 12. So that can't be 5, 7, can't be 3, 8. Sorry, 4, 8. It's got to be 3, 9. Come back to that in a second because, you know, whenever I see a 9, I'm starting to think around extra regions. The fact that there's a 2 in here in the bottom 3 means that there's a 2 in there. So this is 2, 5, 6. And this has to be 5, 6. And this has to be 1, 3, 4. 11, not 2, 9, not 3, 8, not 5, 6. This is 4, 7. 9 there on row 9 can only be in here, which gives me yet another region. Call it green in here. And then 8 can't be there. 8 is not in green. This is 8. Then I have another 1, 3, 4. And then a 5, 6 pair. Notice the 5, 6 are not here. So 2 of these 3 cells are 5, 6. 4 is clearly not in there. Hang on, where am I going with this? How about I just complete kind of the Sudoku for here? That will make my life a lot easier. It's 1, 3. And then in here, I have 4, 5, 6. Yeah, not too sure. Maybe I should kind of move on, if I'm honest. Don't know what's going on here. This is not 2. That's what's going on there. 13 cage maybe next. Let's just, and obviously we can come back to the 12 cage because there's a 9 in there, but let's think about 13. So technically I could fit 9 and 4. I think I don't have a problem with that. Could I have 8, 5? No, because this cell, oh, there you go. This cell, so 13 in two cells, 4, 9, 5, 8, 6, 7. This cell cannot be 5, 6, 7, or 8. So essentially, I've eliminated all of these. This is 9, 4, and it was forced a while ago, and I just needed to pay attention. Sorry, that's the region. No, I will overlap them. And therefore, this is, I've done purple, yes, yellow. 4 can't be in yellow, isn't inside blue here. That's 4. 4 is down there. This cell, yes, this cell can't be here Sudoku. Can't be there. Sudoku has to be in yellow because it's the digits 1 to 9 once each. So that is 256. And I mean, 9 is in one of 3 cells, not very useful. 9 is in one of 2 cells. Not sure why that's useful, or what I can do with it right now. Can I do anything with it right now? I don't, like, I'm not. Sleuth, just do more Sudoku. No 4s. Is a 4. This can't be 1, 3. This is one of the 5, 6s. And then there is essentially another 1, 3, 5, 6 in here. And then no, not getting the significance of this. So if this is 2, this would be 2. This is 2, that won't be 2. Right. Yeah, I'm not getting this. Yeah, it's premature to look at these cages. So like there's something in here that I'm not getting, that I need to get. Column 1, so essentially I have one of the 5, 6s, 2 of the 2, 5, 6s. The third one obviously is not in here, it's up there. And then the missing 2 digits to complete the column, is it 2? Because that's another 2, 5, 6, and 9. A 7, 8, a 7, 8. So this is one of the 7, 8s. Then there is a second 7, 8 inside yellow. In fact, this 7, 8, which is none of these cells, has to be in here. Okay. Then there is a second 7, 8, which is not in here, plus a 1, 3 pair. So this is 1, 3, and then there's another 1, 3, 7, 8 in here. This puzzle may just be a little bit too clever for me. Just on the edge, I think. Right, then up here is another 1, 3, 5, 6, and a 4. Oh, there you go. Right, I'm not, like, I'm kind of playing this with one hand behind. Where's 4 in purple? It's not here, it's there. And therefore there's another 5, 6. Now that can't be a 9, because I'd have 4s twice around it, and obviously this region would have to be unique. So that's not 9, that is 9. And then I have 9 in there. Not in here. So there's essentially like another region somewhere in there. We'll come back to that. You know, I say that and then just ignore it for a long time. 9 in here means that can't be 9. That's 3. That's 9. Right, we're going to draw in some more regions, which hopefully will help a bit because I was starting to get a bit stuck. And therefore that's red. And then where am I going with this? 3. Where is it in box 5? It's none of these cells. And it can't be inside orange again. That would be 3. That's 1. That's 3. And then this 7, 8 can't be in box 5 in any of these cells. Can't be in here in orange. It's not a 3. That's 7, 8. I'm loving this puzzle. Seven eights are quite important. You can see they're not in this in box 5. So this is another 7, 8 again. Then in here I have another 5, 6 and a 2. So there are no 2s in here. There's no 2s inside the 14. It's one of these. Well, you know what I'm going to say now. We'll come back to that. 7, 8, 7, 8. I need 2 more of 2, 5, 6s in box 5, and it can only be in here. So these are 2, 5, 6s, and they're not 2s. That's a 2. This yellow 2 removes this yellow 2 option. That's not a 2. That's now the 2. And then this is just known. This is a 1. And then in here it's 4, 9, 7, 8. Lovely and all that. 7, 8, the second 7, 8 in box 4. Can't be in here, it's in there. And this is another 1, 3. Okay, all good. Kind of. One, 3, 5, 6 with a 2. Another 5, 6, another 7, 8, and a 1. In fact, where is 1 in orange? Come on, Sleuth. Your Sudoku game needs to be a lot better than this for this game. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to pencil mark that. In the column, 2, 5, 6. Which means I need another 2, in fact, another 5, 6, because 2 is definitely in here. And this is not 5 or 6. In fact, we actually know what this digit is. It's just a 4. And that's not a 4. And then to complete this region, I have another 5, 6, another 7, 8, and a 1. Have a think about this trickery for a second. So notice that 2, 3, and 4 are all already placed in red. And I can't place them inside 14. And I can't place all of them in here. So one of them is in essence inside the 9, and then 2 of them are out there. So this is 2, 3, 4. Obviously not a 4 in here. And then there's another one in there, which is either 2, 7, 3, 6. I mean, like, we already knew that. So like, I don't know why suddenly it felt like a revelation. Given the 1 is on here, we know that the 8 is not there. What are you doing, Sleuth? Let's just think about this. Think, think, think. Let's just do a bit of pencil marking for a second. So this could be 5, 9. This could be 6, 8. That's the only way to get to 14 in 2 cells. What I don't have, right, I'm going to take some notes so I can illustrate how I'm thinking about this. So one of these is 5, 9 or 6, 8. It means outside of this is another 5, 9 or 6, 8, somewhere in these 5. Sleuth is just not thinking about the obvious. 9 is not in red. 9 is not inside the 9 cage. I've already eliminated 9 in here because of the 2, 3, 4. This is a 5, 9 pair. Just making my life a lot harder for no good reason. This now cannot be 4, 5. That's the only place for a 4. And then in here, I either have 3, 6 or 2, 7. And then in here, 3, 6 or 2, 7. I always have an 8 now out there because I don't have 1, 8. And therefore this has to be 7. And because the 7 is not inside red, this has to be 2, 7. This becomes a 3. And this becomes 1, 6, 8. And then because there's a 6, that's not a 1. And because this is a 6 now, that can't be 6. This is a 2, 5 pair. And these 3 cells are 6, 8. Phenomenal puzzle so far. And this is a 4. This can't be a 9. There's another 6, 8 in here with, no, a 2. 2, 6, 8. And this is not the 9, that's the 9. And you can see how useless that 9 in the corner is, but doesn't matter. Of course, another region. No, I can't color it just yet. It's essentially definitely these two, but it might be that, or it might be that. We don't know yet, so kind of refraining from coloring them just yet, although I may have to. I think I've gotten all I can out of this 9. Yes. In here is 1, 3, 5, 6, and a 2. Okay. And in here is another 1, 3, another 5, 6, another 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, 6. These 1, 3s, 5, 6, they're just... Oh, hang on. 6, 8. Come on. 5, 6. And therefore 1, 3, 5, the definite 1. Not a 1 in here because of... Hang on. Why did I say a definite 1? A definite 5. That's what I meant to say. No 1, of course, because of the 1 up there. And then in here, there's a definite 6 now, which is not in this cell. Right, so a little bit premature, but I am going to draw some of these. Extra regions. So we know that there is a 9 in one of these two cells, and there is a 9 in one of these two cells. Essentially, we've got a 9 X-wing left. Now, I definitely have a 6 in here. There is no 6s in there. There is no 6s in gray. There is no 6 in here because of the 1, 6, 8. So where is 6 in row 5? That's 6, that's 5. Again with, I feel like it was such a grand, like it was such a hard-earned 6 that you think it's going to reward you a bit more, but it just, like, nothing came out of it. And then 6 is in one of these two cells. Yeah, you see, the danger of these extra regions is, you get tempted to say something like, well, hang on, if there's a 6 here, there's no 6s there, but I don't know which one is the 9 and which one's the 5, so I really need to figure that out. How about 4, 7, 4, and I had 2, 7 up here, and I just entirely ignored it for a long time. I don't get that. And that can't be 2. Then I end up with a 2 X-wing, which we knew about anyway because of the extra region. Essentially, if that's 2, these grey cells couldn't have ever been 2. Right. So in here is another 1, 3. So I have a 5 for sure somewhere in there. With another 1, 3. It just doesn't feel very useful. And then in here I have a 1, 3 or 7, 8 in addition to the 6. It's clearly something to do with the extra region. I don't think I'm missing any more obvious Sudoku yet. So I need to somehow crack what's going on in there to make some more progress. And it is entirely to do with the extra regions that I somehow need to discern. So this is 1, 3 or 7, 8. It is not 1, it is 3, 7, 8. Is that at all useful? Not really. I mean, I say not really, like it feels like not at all. Maybe my pencil marking is letting me down a bit. So 1, 3 with 2, 6 in here. This is 2 or 3. This can't be 2. This is 1, 3, 6. And this is not 3. This is 1, 2, 6. Yeah, look at that. 1 cannot be in here. Sorry, 1 is in there. There's a definite 1. No. No. Sleuth jumping to the conclusion. For a second, I was going to say no ones, no ones. You know, where is 1? But that is absolutely not true. This is not even 8. Come on, Sleuth is so close. It's obvious now. What's wrong with a 9 in here? I have 2s and I have 2s. I would have broken a puzzle a long time ago. That was available for ages. I just wasn't thinking clearly enough. And therefore no 5 in here. Like, it almost doesn't matter the rest of it now. Right, 9, these 6s cannot be these 6s. So that is 8, 1, 6, 8, 6. And then essentially there's another 2, 7 with the 6, but the 2s in this box are in here. So that can't, so in grey where I need the 2, that's got to be the 2, that's got to be the 7, that's the 5, that's the 2. That 8 gave me a 6 all the way there, and then a 5, a 6, a 5, a 6. Another 7, 8, of course no resolution, but it's fine. And then in here it's got to be, hang on, it's got to be 3, 6, 7. I was going to say it's got to be 7, it's not. So it is 3, 6, 7 to complete the grey, and therefore down there, that's 1, that's 8, that's 7, that's 8, that's 3, that's 8, that's 7. And then in here, well, this can't be a 9, these are 4 8s, that's the 8, that's the 4. Sudoku's kind of letting me down a bit now. 2, 5 and something. 1, 2, 5. Not 1, not 2, not 5. Lovely. There's a definite 1 now in grey. So I was kind of onto the right idea. So there's no 1s in here. And therefore the 1 in this row is there. That's 3. That's 1. The only place for a 5 now is in here, which gives me 2. Therefore 1, 5, 3, 7, 6. Just bad pencil marking, kind of slowing me down. And I think just a bit of Sudoku to finalize. We need a 1, 3, 5, and if I've not made any mistakes, 7 for the finish. It's an absolutely stunning puzzle, Belamis. I mean, I'm always constantly amazed by, sorry, just being a bit pedantic, by the construction of these puzzles. Like, I don't even know how you go about developing the idea and then turning it into such an enjoyable, solvable puzzle with such a lovely solution. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.